watching the Screaming Fish here, people, and once again I'm here for you guys with yet another video. And this time, in this video, as you can clearly tell because you've already looked at the title before you click play on this video, we're going to be taking a look at Baby Driver, directed by Edgar Wright, one of my favourite movie directors of all time. So yeah, I don't even need to tell you, I was already excited for this movie even before I saw the trailer because Edgar Wright is making it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with my review of his latest film, Baby Driver. Edgar Wright has quickly become one of my favourite action movie directors of all time. I've loved pretty much all of his movies, although I will admit I still haven't seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I really need to though. I loved all three of the Cornetto trilogy movies, that being Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and At World's End, in particular Hot Fuzz. I've always loved his direction style when it comes to action movies, and I also think his films are really funny, which is one of the many reasons I was really excited for Baby Driver. However, the cast of this movie also got me really excited. We have people like Jamie Foxx, Jon Bernthal, Kevin Spacey, Lily James, and Ansel Elgort in this movie. That is a lineup that, to me, sets up an awesome movie. Anyway, I finally got to see Baby Driver, which I was extremely psyched for, as I've already told you twice. And after walking out of that theatre, I have to say that Baby Driver is without a doubt my favourite movie of 2017. I know we're only just a little bit over halfway through this year, but for now, Baby Driver tops everything I've seen this year. Yes, even Logan and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. From an action standpoint, this movie shines lighter than the freaking sun! This is one of the best action movies I've seen in years. The car chases in this movie are some of the best car chases ever put to film. They are insanely well done. Pretty much all the car chases, minus a few shots that utilize CGI, are practical, and that really does help the action to feel more authentic. The gun battles in this movie are the dictionary definition of wicked. Not only are they extremely well shot and choreographed similar to the car chases, but every action scene, whether it was a gun battle or a car chase, had stakes and utilized those stakes to build suspense. When you're watching those action sequences, you're having fun, but at the same time you're literally clenching the arm of your seat because the suspense is always there. Edgar Wright has always been really good at building suspense in his movies, and Baby Driver is by no means any kind of exception. There's a scene that takes place in a diner in this movie that gave me goosebumps. But that's not saying that was the only scene in this movie that had that effect on me. In fact, there are multiple scenes in this movie like that really build tension and add to the suspense. However, this isn't a really dark movie. No, it's actually pretty lighthearted. The comedy in this movie is great though. All the jokes in this movie landed perfectly for me and had me laughing my butt off almost non-stop. I will admit though, while Edgar Wright is known for making some pretty funny movies, this is probably the least comedic out of all his movies. Though that is by no means a bad thing, as this movie does pack just enough of that typical Edgar Wright charm for the film to be able to balance the lighter-hearted themes with the darker themes, and thankfully, those two tones mesh really well together as they do in most of Edgar Wright's films. I also adore the way this film is edited and cut together. I like how this movie is edited so that everything goes to the beat of the song that's playing. I thought that was a really cool element, and the action scenes in particular benefit from this. It makes them more fun and enjoyable to watch, and it makes the film seem a hell of a lot more cooler. And speaking of the songs, oh my days, the songs. Baby Driver has one of the best film soundtracks ever. I would even go as far as to say that it's up there with both of the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks. Every song, no matter what it was, got me pumped up, and you can just imagine me grinning like the Grinch when Tequila came on. I just flipping love that song, okay? This soundtrack, on the whole, is a music nerd's wet dream, and in some cases my dream too. I loved how it was a perfect blend of classic songs with more new and current songs. Usually I would think that wouldn't work, but here both varieties of songs in this movie blended seamlessly with one another. To put it short, this movie has fantastic music. The romance for me was one of the best parts of this movie. The chemistry between Lily James and Ansel Elgort was really strong throughout this movie. Their scenes together can go from really deep and romantic to downright charming and in some cases hilarious. This movie manages to make watching two people just dancing around listening to music for a couple of minutes fun. And I feel that really stems from the chemistry between these two characters. Ansel Elgort, or Elgort, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, so apologies if I'm not, is fantastic as Baby. He gives a really charismatic performance in this movie. Baby is in my opinion the perfect lead for a movie like this. He's a perfect blend of charm and likability, as well as being really cocky but fun at the same time, and I feel that this character's obsession with music is a huge part of who Baby is as a character. I myself related to that aspect of the character. I like to listen to classic songs from the 70s, 80s and 90s, as well as a few modern ones, and occasionally hum and sing along to them just for a laugh. I just love seeing Baby singing along and doing a little dance to the songs whenever he's walking down a street. He's a really fun lead, but also quite a dark one. He's very stone cold and doesn't say much. His backstory is incredibly tragic, and I love how that's explored over the course of the film's runtime. Of course, Lily James is amazing in this movie. I mean, come on, it's Lily James, you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, her chemistry with Edgar is fantastic. She was very enjoyable in her scenes, and the conversations she has with Baby are particularly engaging. I think her character actually helps to raise the stakes for Baby as a character, but if I'm honest, she's just a great character in general. Jamie Foxx is incredible in this movie as Bats. He was a badass, and he makes for an especially awesome villain in this movie. This character was just a straight up a-hole from start to finish, and that really shows in the way he antagonizes Baby and how he insults the other characters in this movie whenever he gets the chance. But overall, he's a really cool character right from the get-go. He's so sly and so cool. This is probably my favorite Jamie Foxx performance since Django Unchained. Yeah, that good. John Hamm and Isa Gonzalez were just downright awesome as Buddy and Darling. I think the way they were portrayed as this incredibly badass couple was just gold. The interactions between these two characters were enjoyable to watch, and I think the way these two characters interact with the rest of the cast was particularly awesome. I absolutely loved Kevin Spacey as Doc. I think he really suits the gangster type role that we get in this movie, and he knocks it out of the park in this film. He's a weird and wonderful combination of being incredibly smart, calculating, genuinely terrifying, and hilarious. Kevin Spacey is just so badass in this role that it's hard not to enjoy his presence on screen and not be blown away whenever he's in an action sequence. I love how he delivers his dialogue very fast in a really deadpan and serious manner, and how he manages to convey so much emotion into his performance without giving away too much expression. All the characters in this movie are awesome in this, even characters like Eddie No-Nose, who by the way is hilarious. It's impossible not to love these characters. I love how they all bounce off each other, in particular Jamie Foxx. I just can't get enough of the way Baby listens to music while Kevin Spacey explains the plan for a heist and then repeats the entire plan word for word, exactly the way Kevin Spacey said it. Or the way Jamie Foxx insults or antagonizes Baby, and even the way characters would mistake Michael Myers for Austin Powers is just priceless. This movie had me clenching the arm of my seat, laughing my ass off, gaping in awe at the truly spectacular action sequences. Baby Driver and Mad Max Fury Road are, in my opinion, perfect examples of how to make great action movies. In a time where most action films are filled with CG or filmed using shaky cam or lots of jump cuts, this is a breath of fresh air. There's not a single action sequence in this entire movie that was filmed using shaky cam. Not even one. A lot of people actually criticize Edgar Wright's movies to be a little style over substance, but to me that's just undeserved, because no matter what kind of context you're putting it in, when it comes to making movies, style is really important because it helps to separate your style of filmmaking from other people's work. That, and I just love his style of filmmaking. You don't even have to read the opening credits to tell that this is one of his movies, with the way he makes everything go with the beat of the music, or the way he directs action. It's a real breath of fresh air after seeing some really unnecessarily conventional action films like Ghost in the Shell. Similar to the other films he's directed, this movie is directed superbly. There was never a boring looking shot. The cinematography is gorgeous, and the camera work on the whole is top of the A game. In terms of what I didn't like here, well, there was basically nothing I disliked about this movie. Baby Driver is a perfect action movie and a really good time in the theatre. This is most definitely one of Edgar Wright's best movies. In terms of where exactly I would place it amongst his other films, I would say that an ever so slightly better narrative just about puts Hot Fuzz on top, and that twist in the middle in the movie just gets me every time. But does that mean Baby Driver's bad? No, I mean, come on, I literally just spent the past few minutes praising this movie to death. I literally can't find anything wrong with this movie. I got to the halfway point of this movie and realized that this is flawless. Baby Driver is a staple in the action genre and certainly one of the best in recent years, and also one of the best of all time in my opinion. I had a blast with Baby Driver. It was basically everything I was hoping it would be, and I am really glad that I can come here and say that this is my favourite movie of this year. Even if I see something later this year that turns out to be better than Baby Driver will most likely make it onto my top 10 best of the year anyway. I had an unbelievably fun time with this movie, and you must go see it. Seriously, you will have an awesome time. So guys, those were my thoughts on Baby Driver. I do hope you enjoyed this video. The camera's a bit, not in the center. You know, I've got to be in the center because think I may have a serious case of OCD, because if I'm not in sets, I kind of took out and stuff. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video, like I've already just asked, that's a bit weird. Yeah, so please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I will indeed see you guys in the next one. And before I go, I would just like to ask, what did you think of Baby Driver? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Did you think it was okay? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will indeed see you guys in the next one. So, yeah. Bye.